Have you ever found yourself accepting things from others that make you question your own worth or lose confidence? We live in a world filled with pressures from society, friends, and family. It's easy to get caught up in trying to please everyone, saying yes to things we know don't serve us, just to keep the peace or fit in. But the truth is, saying no to what doesn't align with your values is the first step toward living a truly free and fulfilling life. In this video, we're exploring 7 things you should never accept from anyone if you want to stay grounded in your true self, maintain your inner strength, and create the life you genuinely deserve. It's time to let go of what holds you back and embrace what empowers you. If you find this content helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more empowering life lessons. Let's dive in. 1. Unwanted advice. The first thing you should never accept is unwanted advice. Sure, advice can come from a good place, often given with the best of intentions. It might even seem helpful at first. However, unsolicited advice can quickly turn into a source of doubt and insecurity. It can shake your confidence and make you second-guess decisions you've already carefully considered. This is where Stoic philosophy offers some timeless wisdom. The Stoics teach us to trust our judgment and remain steadfast in our values. They emphasize that, while listening with an open mind is important, we must be vigilant in guarding our sense of self. Not every piece of advice deserves to be accepted, especially when it conflicts with your personal goals and principles. In today's world, everyone seems to have an opinion on how you should live your life, but only you truly know what aligns with your path and what doesn't. Think about it. How many times have you received advice that made you feel unsure, anxious, or even pressured to change your course? That's because unwanted advice often carries a hidden message, implying that you're somehow inadequate or your choices are wrong. Stoicism teaches us to remain unaffected by these external opinions. It reminds us that our strength comes from within, not from the approval or suggestions of others. By learning to filter advice, you retain control over your life's direction. In the world of social media and constant communication, advice can come at you from all sides. Whether it's friends, family, or even strangers online, everyone seems to know what you should do. The Stoic approach is to listen calmly but make your own decisions based on what feels right to you. You can appreciate the intention behind the advice without letting it cloud your judgment. This mindset allows you to stay true to your values and navigate life with clarity and confidence. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is understanding what is within your control. Your values, your decisions, and your responses are entirely within your power. Unwanted advice, however, often falls outside of your control. It's an opinion, a suggestion that may or may not align with who you are. When you let such advice take root, you give away your power to others, allowing their perspective to dictate your path. The Stoics remind us that wisdom comes from knowing when to listen and when to politely decline advice that does not serve our purpose. So the next time you receive advice that wasn't asked for, take a moment to reflect. Is this advice in line with your values and goals, or is it steering you away from them? If it's the latter, remember the Stoic way. Acknowledge the advice, thank the person if you must, but do not feel obligated to act on it. This is your life, your journey, and only you know the destination you're aiming for. 2. Fake flattery. Next up, don't accept fake flattery. Insincere praise is a trap that many of us fall into without even realizing it. It can feel good at the moment, boosting our mood and self-esteem, but this kind of validation is hollow. When you become reliant on praise from others, especially when it's not genuine, you open yourself up to manipulation. This is why Stoicism emphasizes the importance of building self-worth from within, rather than depending on external validation. The Stoics teach us to be cautious of compliments that seem overly eager or unearned. They believe that true confidence comes from self-awareness and inner strength, not from the opinions of others. When someone flatters you to gain favor or influence your decisions, it's often a tactic designed to control your actions. By recognizing this, you can avoid being swayed by words that are meant to manipulate rather than uplift. Stoic philosophy encourages us to see praise for what it truly is, sometimes sincere, but often just a social tool used to achieve a hidden agenda. Consider how easy it is to get swept away by flattery. It can make you feel special, even invincible. However, this dependence on outside praise is exactly what the Stoics warned against. They taught that when we allow ourselves to be influenced by compliments, we give up a piece of our autonomy. The opinions of others start to dictate our choices, and we risk losing sight of our values and goals. This is why Stoicism advises us to accept praise with a level of detachment. Appreciate kind words, but don't let them become the measure of your worth. When you build your self-worth on your true qualities and achievements, rather than on how others perceive you, you become less susceptible to fake flattery. This Stoic practice is about focusing on what is within your control, your actions, your virtues, and your personal growth. It's easy to get caught up in seeking approval, but Stoicism teaches that the pursuit of external validation often leads to emptiness. Instead, focus on living in alignment with your principles. When you achieve something meaningful, let the satisfaction come from your recognition of your effort and progress. The Stoic approach to flattery is not to reject all praise outright, but to remain indifferent to it. Compliments can be appreciated, but they shouldn't define your sense of self. By doing this, you maintain your inner strength and clarity. You become the master of your own emotions, no longer vulnerable to those who might use praise to manipulate or control you. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes when you are no longer swayed by the opinions of others, good or bad. 3. Pressure to change who you are. Have you ever felt the pressure to change who you are just to make someone else happy? This pressure can be subtle or direct, often coming from societal standards, family expectations, or even the influence of friends. We live in a world where there's constant messaging about who we should be, what we should look like, and how we should behave. It's easy to lose sight of our true selves amid these demands. However, Stoic philosophy provides us with a powerful reminder. True strength and fulfillment come not from conforming to others' expectations, but from living in alignment with our values. The Stoics teach that we must remain true to our principles and not allow external pressures to dictate our identity. They believe that our worth is not determined by how well we fit into society's mold, but by how closely we adhere to our inner virtues. When you change who you are to please others, you are essentially giving away your power. You become a mere reflection of others' desires, losing the unique qualities that make you who you are. Stoicism encourages us to be steadfast in our authenticity, even when the world around us seems to push us in different directions. It's natural to want to be accepted and loved, but the Stoic perspective reminds us that changing ourselves to gain approval is a path to inner turmoil. The more we try to meet others' expectations, the more we lose touch with our true essence. The Stoics taught that real happiness comes from living in harmony with your nature and values. This means being confident in who you are, even if it doesn't align with what others expect. When you embrace your authentic self, you create a sense of inner peace that external pressures cannot disturb. Moreover, Stoic philosophy encourages us to view external pressures as tests of our character. The Stoics believed that each individual has a unique role to play in the world, shaped by their nature and experiences. When you feel the pressure to change, it's an opportunity to reflect on your values and decide whether that change is genuinely in line with your principles or just an attempt to conform. By staying true to yourself, you practice the Stoic virtue of courage. It takes courage to stand firm in who you are when the world around you demands that you be something else. One of the key Stoic teachings is the importance of recognizing what is within your control. Your values, actions, and responses belong solely to you, while others' opinions and expectations do not. When you change yourself to fit someone else's ideal, you surrender control over your life to them. Stoicism empowers us to take back that control by focusing on our values and decisions. By doing so, you build a life that is rooted in authenticity and self-respect. 4. Control. No one has the right to control you or your life. Control can take on many forms: emotional manipulation, guilt-tripping, or others trying to make decisions for you. Sometimes it's subtle, like friends or family pressuring you to take a certain path. Other times, it's more direct, with people attempting to impose their will over your choices. The key takeaway from Stoicism is this: you are the master of your own emotions and actions, and no one else should dictate how you live. The Stoics believed that the only things within our control are our thoughts, actions, and reactions. Everything else, including the opinions and behaviors of others, lies outside our realm of influence. When you let others control your decisions, you hand over your power and allow external forces to dictate your happiness. Stoic philosophy teaches that true freedom comes from within, from the ability to make choices based on our values, rather than the expectations or desires of others. Emotional manipulation is one of the most common ways people try to control us. They might use guilt, fear, or even praise to steer us in a direction that serves their interests, not ours. Stoicism encourages us to recognize these tactics for what they are: attempts to disrupt our inner peace. By becoming aware of these forms of control, you can better guard your emotions and remain true to your principles. You don't have to react to every emotion others try to impose on you. The Stoic approach is to take a step back, assess the situation rationally, and decide how you want to respond. While it's important to listen and consider other people's perspectives, always remember that the final decision is yours. The Stoics valued rational thinking and self-reflection. When you are faced with outside pressure, take a moment to reflect. Is this truly what aligns with my values? Am I being controlled by someone else's expectations? By practicing this Stoic self-inquiry, you assert your right to live life on your terms. The beauty of Stoic philosophy lies in its emphasis on self-mastery. When you take control of your emotions and decisions, you gain the power to shape your life according to your values. This inner strength not only protects you from manipulation, but also empowers you to build a life that is truly yours. 5. Unconstructive criticism. Criticism is inevitable, but not all criticism is worth accepting. In our lives, we encounter various forms of feedback, some helpful and constructive, while others are negative and baseless. While constructive criticism can be a valuable tool for personal growth, unwarranted or malicious criticism should be dismissed. This is where Stoic philosophy offers profound insights, guiding us on how to handle feedback in a way that strengthens our character and resolve. Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between constructive feedback, which can propel us forward, and unconstructive criticism, which serves only to undermine our confidence. The key is to cultivate a sense of self-awareness that allows us to assess criticism objectively. When faced with negative feedback, take a moment to reflect. Is there truth in this criticism that I can learn from, or is it simply an expression of someone else's insecurities or biases? This ability to evaluate criticism through a Stoic lens empowers us to remain centered, allowing us to grow without losing sight of our self-worth. Unconstructive criticism often stems from the critic's frustrations, and it can have a detrimental effect if we allow it to seep into our self-perception. The Stoics remind us that our value is not determined by the opinions of others. We should remain grounded in our own beliefs and capabilities. By developing a strong sense of self, you can protect yourself from being swayed by negativity. Remember, just because someone criticizes you doesn't mean their perspective holds any truth. A Stoic approach encourages us to embrace criticism with a balanced mindset. When faced with harsh words, consider the intent behind them. Are they meant to help you improve, or are they simply aimed at tearing you down? By focusing on your values and goals, you create a mental shield against unwarranted negativity. Stand firm in your confidence and self-belief. This is the essence of Stoic strength. Moreover, the Stoics advocate for emotional resilience. It's natural to feel hurt or defensive when criticized, but allowing those emotions to control you can lead to self-doubt and insecurity. Instead, practice detachment by acknowledging your feelings without letting them dictate your response. Use criticism as an opportunity for introspection. Ask yourself if there's any merit to the feedback that could aid your growth. But don't let unconstructive criticism shake your confidence or cloud your judgment. 6. Envy and jealousy. Envy and jealousy are powerful emotions that can deeply affect our well-being and perspective. These feelings often arise from the insecurities of others, who may project their negative emotions onto you. When you encounter envy or jealousy from those around you, it's crucial to understand that these emotions reflect your struggles, not your worth. Accepting or tolerating such negativity can weaken your resolve and divert you from your values and goals. This is where Stoic philosophy shines, offering guidance on how to navigate these toxic emotions. Stoicism teaches us that we should focus on our path and aspirations, ignoring the noise of others' feelings. The Stoics believed that our energy should be directed toward personal growth and self-improvement, rather than being consumed by the envy of others. When you recognize that jealousy often stems from someone else's insecurities, you can approach the situation with empathy rather than resentment. Instead of allowing their envy to impact you negatively, view it as an opportunity to reinforce your commitment to your own goals. Moreover, the Stoics remind us that our happiness and self-worth should not depend on external validation or the approval of others. When you allow yourself to be swayed by jealousy, you risk compromising your values. The journey of self-improvement is unique to each individual, and comparing your progress to others only breeds discontent. Instead, practice gratitude for your journey. Focus on what you have accomplished and the values that guide you. A core tenet of Stoic philosophy is to maintain inner peace in the face of adversity. This means recognizing that envy and jealousy are external influences that can distract you from your true purpose. By cultivating a mindset of resilience, you empower yourself to rise above negative emotions. When you feel the weight of jealousy or envy, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what do these emotions reveal about me? Why am I allowing this to affect my mindset? By engaging in this self-inquiry, you can better understand your emotional triggers and reclaim your focus. It's also essential to establish boundaries with those who frequently project envy or jealousy. Surrounding yourself with positive influences can help maintain your sense of purpose and motivation. The Stoics believed that the company we keep significantly impacts our mental state. When you engage with individuals who uplift you and encourage your growth, you create an environment that fosters resilience and self-acceptance. 7. Limitations on your dreams. No one has the right to set limits on your dreams and ambitions. It's an unfortunate reality that many people project their fears, doubts, and limitations onto others. These external pressures can manifest in various ways, whether through discouraging comments, subtle jabs at your aspirations, or outright disbelief in your potential. However, Stoicism teaches us a powerful lesson. You have the power to choose your path and define your success. The Stoics believed that our dreams are a reflection of our unique values and passions. When someone tries to impose their limitations on you, they are often projecting their insecurities or fears of failure. This is not a reflection of your abilities or potential. Instead of accepting their doubts, take a step back and remind yourself of the Stoic principle that your value lies in your ability to act according to your own reasoned choices. You are the architect of your destiny. To truly embrace this Stoic mindset, start by identifying the limits that others have placed on you, whether consciously or unconsciously. Ask yourself, are these beliefs truly mine, or have I adopted them to fit in or please someone else? By engaging in this self-reflection, you can begin to separate your authentic dreams from the noise of external expectations. Once you recognize these imposed limitations, it's time to take action. Remove the mental shackles that others have placed on you, and pursue your ambitions with courage and determination. The Stoics remind us that challenges are inevitable, but it is how we respond to them that matters most. When you encounter obstacles, view them as opportunities for growth rather than as barriers to your success. Each setback can teach you valuable lessons and build your resilience. Additionally, it's crucial to surround yourself with people who support and uplift your ambitions. The Stoics believe that the company we keep profoundly influences our mindset and progress. Seek out those who inspire you and challenge you to reach your full potential. When you're surrounded by positive influences, it becomes easier to break free from the limits others try to impose. Moreover, remember that your dreams and ambitions are not merely personal desires. They are essential components of your character and purpose. Pursuing them wholeheartedly contributes to your personal growth and fulfillment. The Stoic approach encourages us to pursue our passions with vigor, staying true to our values and principles, while maintaining a sense of inner calm amid external pressures. Never let anyone impose limits on your dreams. Embrace the Stoic wisdom that you have the power to choose your path. Acknowledge the doubts others may project onto you, but do not allow them to dictate your actions or beliefs. Remove those limitations and move forward with the courage to pursue your dreams relentlessly. Remember, true freedom and strength come from knowing when to reject the things that don't serve your values and goals. Throughout this video, 7 things you should never accept from anyone. We've explored how to safeguard your sense of self against unwanted advice, fake flattery, pressure to change, control, unconstructive criticism, envy, and the limitations that others might impose on your dreams. By building a life where you are the leader, you can live authentically and confidently pursue your chosen path. Embrace the wisdom of Stoic narratives, as it not only helps you understand your self-worth, but also strengthens your sense of autonomy and resilience. Remember, you never have to accept anything from others that shakes your value or your happiness. As you move forward, let the principles of Stoicism guide you in creating a life that aligns with your true self. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more insights on living a life rooted in authenticity and purpose. Thank you for joining us on this journey.